Very important information for everybody to know is that under this desk, Anthony Totri doesn't have any shoes on.
Happy Thursday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. Of course, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Make sure you join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit circlek.com for details. I am Anthony Totri, joined as always by the man who throws me under the bus. That is, of course, Erik Ruby. We've got Erickson behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Do us a solid. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Look, normally we spend a lot of time talking ASU football, and rightfully so. The program is on absolute fire in the best way possible, but there are other ASU athletic teams that we are going to discuss today, starting with Arizona State men's basketball, adding another player to that roster. We're going to kind of break down how we see this starting five. Maybe there's a member of the starting five who's not even on the roster as it stands right now. You're absolutely right. You've nailed it. That's all I've got. That's the end of the show today. That's the end of the show today. That's all I got for you guys. And then ASU softball with a big performance against Oklahoma State in the quarterfinals of the Big 12 tournament. We're going to break down what happened in that game and kind of what's ahead for the Sun Devils. Steven in the chat saying, as a man of nonviolence, I can not hit something.
Lightly press it. Lightly press the like button.
Just tap it, maybe?
Yeah, just caress it.
Flick it. Flick the...
All right. Okay. So I think
you know what, man?
So you say I throw you under the bus.
You do. You do throw me under the bus.
I would just say I'm more of a speaker of facts.
A speaker of
Are
facts.
you ashamed of the fact that you're not wearing shoes?
No, but you know,
right
I just didn't think that was something that needed to be tossed out there. You know, I think we lost viewers waiting while you did that. I think so. I think we did.
I think we did. The most important thing about all of this is I'm very proud that we didn't wear the same shirt today. Because the last time that I wore this shirt, you also wore this shirt.
I thought about wearing it.
Did you actually?
I did.
When I grabbed it, I was like, he might wear it again today.
That would have been a real problem.
It's been just enough time passed to recycle the shirt.
Literally, like
today would be the first.
Yesterday would have been a day too early.
Correct.
Yeah, I would have questioned if you watched
100% agree.
Yeah.
But I looked at it today and I'm like, you know what? It matches the shorts. It matches the hat. Let's roll with it, right? So Steven with a crazy comment. But how do you feel about people who just have their toes out in public? Because you don't have. I want this to be clear.
I have socks on.
His
I
dogs
showered before coming to work.
His dogs are not out. It doesn't smell. Okay. He's being very respectful.
I feel bad for all of the individuals who clicked on this, hoping to immediately hear Arizona State men's basketball discussion.
Listen, for those of you who want us to talk about Jake O'Neal, we'll talk about Jake O'Neal. But first, how do you feel about people having their dogs out?
I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it. In 2025, right? That's the year we're in.
I feel like the setting really like wearing sandals.
It is only acceptable
downtown.
at the beach and the pool. That's it.
Okay.
Any other time that you have your dogs out like that, I mean, they should lock you up and throw away the key. It's pretty simple.
Is it different for genders not to put it out there?
No, put your feet away, dude.
Put your feet away.
Yeah,
okay.
It's that simple. But again, I'm wearing socks now.
I know
if you are somebody that's wearing socks and slides, that's totally acceptable.
Oh, I'm a big socks
everywhere.
and slides guy.
That's acceptable everywhere.
Yeah,
right.
But slides without the socks,
pool and beach.
Yeah, or going and getting your mail.
Sure.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine. I just don't want to see
Let me just throw on some socks while I go get my mail.
You act like it's a very long, tedious process.
I'm a busy man.
To put on some socks.
Sharon says, this is Arizona. Flip-flops and sandals are acceptable footwear year-round. The official stance of PHNX Sun Devils is put those damn dogs away.
We're on the same page?
We're on the same page.
I love it. You ready to get...
Remember when Espo just wore flip-flops into the office with no those socks?
He used to.
And like
him and Saul
Leah would give him a bunch of crap.
Him and Saul used to be big look at my toes guys. Yeah.
Saul was a big look at my toe guy.
Yeah. And in all honesty, I'm the only one that's acceptable to do that in this office. My last name's Totri. Like
I was like, what?
It comes with the territory.
You got good feet?
It comes with territory. You know,
selling feet pics on the side?
No, I'm not.
I can't sell feet pics.
Well, Jake O'Neal. Transferring to Arizona State from Idaho State. The 6'4" guard averaged 13.1 points and 9.3 boards at Idaho State last season. Now he is going to try and play for ASU this season. They are still awaiting a waiver for an additional year of eligibility. From my understanding, that has to do with the fact that when Jake O'Neal first got to college, he was actually someone that played golf. He didn't necessarily play basketball right off rip, but here we are. The Sun Devils played against Jake O'Neal last season at Idaho State. What do you remember from that?
Well, I remember that post-game show, Erik Ruby was not a happy camper, and Erik Ruby was told to calm down by multiple people because the basketball was just not that bad. I saw it coming. But I actually went back and watched the highlights from that game from Jake, and I watched probably like 10 to 15 minutes of his made buckets from last season. I like him as a player. I hope he's able to play. I think he's a useful player. A lot of downhill driving ability, especially can finish with both hands, and he did that against ASU. Good motor as well. Also, against ASU specifically, was good on the boards too. I don't know if he's a starter, but I think he's somebody who could like compete to start.
I think he's somebody like, I mean, I think that's a good way to put it. I don't think he's a starter right off rip. I think there are too many other guys on this team that just have a wider variety of experience. I think in terms of play time, I think Jake O'Neal is certainly going to play this season. I think there's a chance he is the 6th or 7th man this year. He provides, I think, a like you said, motor, the energy that he plays with. This guy, when he's on the floor, you know you're going to get 110%. And I love that because it feels like there have been times in the past where there have been players that, you know, they're talented on this ASU roster, but maybe they don't. Maybe they don't give it 110%. The fans see it. The teammates see it. Everyone realistically sees it. And for me to be able to get a guy who, again, 9.4 boards at Idaho State as a 6'4" guard, I'll take that.
The best guard rebounder in the country, according to Hoop Highlights. But I mean, 9.4 boards as a guard.
I mean, you'll take that.
Is crazy. All defensive team for the Big Sky. All Big Sky honorable mention. 11th on Idaho State's single season rebounding list as a 6'4" guard. Like you mentioned, 13.5 points per game, almost 10 rebounds per game, 2.2 assists per game as well. He is a player that probably won't be able to do things of that nature in consistent Big 12 play against some of the big boys, but athletic too, has some good chase down blocks, is a good two-way player.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. I don't think he'll be able to hit the ceilings that he's able to hit if he does, play, which is kind of a big part of all this, as well as will he
get that extra year,
even be eligible?
Yeah.
Williams says accepting a transfer who may not even have eligibility is peak ASU basketball right now.
I mean, yeah. That's facts. What do you think is the ceiling for this kid on this roster?
A starter.
You think?
I think starting guard. Yeah.
At the 2?
At the 2. Yeah. Starting guard, 6'4", probably defending the ceiling is probably defending the best perimeter threat, or at least trying to slow him down. And just being one of those
like a Luther Muhammad type. Luther Muhammad was the best defender on this team.
No, I know, but I struggle to compare them as players.
Yeah, I'm just saying in terms of that defensive prowess, the guy that checks in and you know that he is going to be glued to the team's best player.
Yeah, I do think that would be what he would be put into. I don't think you're going to run a lot of offense through him. Yeah. Especially because a lot of his offense is driving downhill and getting to the rim, and it's going to be a lot tougher when you're meeting Houston centers and Kansas centers and Baylor
real
centers
basketball players
instead of Oral Roberts.
Yeah,
you're
playing real teams.
Yeah, or Northern Arizona University, if that's even a real school. Or dude, like seriously, like look at the school name.
Walla Walla. Yeah,
Walla Walla school.
And the crazy thing is, if you go through what I don't love right, is the fact that you can go through the highlight tape, you can watch him play, and there are a lot of games where Idaho State is getting blown out.
Yes.
Which is not what you necessarily want to see when you're getting a player from another school. I get basketball is a little bit different, but like,
yeah,
I want my players coming from winning programs, winning teams. And again, that's nothing against Jake O'Neal. The dude can hoop, the dude can ball. Like, we've seen that, right? He does some impressive things at that level. But it again kind of fits the mold of what Bobby has done in terms of adding the players this transfer portal cycle. Is it does feel like there are a lot more smaller school guys that are now on this roster that everyone's sitting back like, okay, somebody's got to make a jump. Otherwise, this is going to be a bad year.
Does it remind you of last year a little bit?
No, it doesn't, because last year you had a recruiting class that you could buy into.
No, but think about, and I think they came from some bigger schools, but with BJ Freeman and Alston Mason and Bashir Jihad, right? You need to be able to step up into a Power 4 level and contribute, and that's what you're banking on. He can hoop though. He's got good moves off of the dribble. He's got a decent handle. Against ASU was hitting some tough turnaround shots as well. The individual team success thing is tough, because I get it. Like, you want him to be on a better team, but I mean, it's Idaho State.
It is.
Like, that's not his
Idaho
fault.
State.
I mean, JJ says 21st in the country in rebounding at 6'4".
Yeah.
Right.
Tells me that he hustles. He crashes the glass.
Right. Which is, I mean, probably also a lot of rebounds to grab for
Idaho State.
For Idaho State. He's from Fruitland, Idaho.
That's not real.
By the way,
that's not
he's
a real
from
place.
Fruitland. Speaking of not a real place, can you tell me where Walla Walla University is?
Is that what a WWU?
It's Walla Walla University.
Can you give me a coast?
It's on the western side of the country.
Somewhere in Washington, then.
You nailed it.
Let's go.
College Place, Washington.
Also not
Walla
a real place.
Walla Walla University.
What's their mascot?
I think it's the Huskies. It looks like a husky. Walla Walla University is a Seventh-day Adventist institution of higher education founded in 1892. They have 4 campuses throughout the Pacific Northwest.
You know how, like, bad the PR team has to be for that university for it to be around for over 110 years and for me to have never heard of its existence until right now?
Do you want to guess how many undergrad students Walla Walla University has?
Currently?
Currently.
Does it feel like a lie?
Just guess.
17,000.
My high school class was bigger. My individual high school class. 1,300. 1,300 undergrad students, 100 graduate students. This was the type of competition that he was playing
Walla Walla
against.
University, ladies and gentlemen.
Walla Walla University. Glenn said 210. It looks like a beautiful campus.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
It was in U.S. News' best colleges for regional universities of the West in 2025.
Strange. JJB saying O'Neal's freshman year as an athlete was golf 7 years ago. Yeah, that is, again, to my knowledge, that's the issue with the waiver is the golf part of his career when he first started. But 7 years ago, this man's been in college for a while.
Who do you think wins in football, Troy or Walla Walla University?
Troy.
I don't know.
Walla
Walla has the power of
they
God.
They don't even have
side.
A football team. There's no shot. I'm shocked they
literally have as many grad students as you could have on like a
Think
football
about that.
roster.
Arizona State played a school that also in the same year
played Walla Walla University. Yeah. And no, that was the same year.
That's wild.
That was this year. He played Walla Walla University. And by the way, Arizona State almost lost to that team. Just so you know, how many points did Arizona State score against Idaho State? Like 50?
60 maybe.
55 to 48. They scored 55 points against. Sorry, I'm getting back in against the Idaho.
You can tell his tone
State
goes crazy when we talk ASU men's basketball.
Dude, this team.
But it's over. It's a new team, Rubus. It is a new team.
Okay, but it ain't over.
It ain't over, but it's a new team.
I'm talking about a dude who played golf at Boise State 7 years ago as the savior of this team.
Okay, we didn't say he's the savior. He's definitely not the savior of this
I do think he's good. I do think he's a good basketball player, though.
Do you think it is a fit? Or do you think we're just having this where we have to have this conversation?
We need basketball players.
We do need basketball.
So,
we need good basketball players.
He plays basketball and he tries hard.
He does.
That is the literal bar.
That's all it takes.
That is the literal bar.
All you got to do. You got to play ball and you got to try really, really hard.
Yeah.
And welcome aboard.
JJ says 55-48 score. We should have known then. I did. I screamed from the mountaintops and nobody listened to me. This is like me being like...
We can, Jacob. It's just Molly Miller's team.
That's true. Molly Miller will save us. I feel like I'm like Noah in Noah's Ark, and I'm like, a flood is coming, a flood is coming. They're like, look at this crazy guy. Should have listened to me.
Glenn saying, Totri, we are not U of A football fans with opium. Don't church up ASU basketball. I'm not. I'm
known Bobby Hurley supporter.
No,
Anthony
man,
Totri.
Don't throw me into that side. Okay, I've tried to, if you couldn't tell by the amount of ASU football shows that we have done, really try and stray away from men's hoops until there's something we're talking about. But this is the first incoming transfer in a while, but it does feel like the roster is either complete or nearing that point. So I'm curious what Rubis has for a potential starting five. We can kind of go down the list of guys that we think can make an impact this season, Jake O'Neal included, but we are going to take a quick break. Guys, the NBA playoffs have been top tier.
Phenomenal.
But for me, what has taken it from a 10 to a 12 has been the fact that I've been enjoying pure edibles through those games. And I'll tell you what, those fourth quarter comebacks get even better when you have some pure edibles in your system. My favorite part about pure edibles is the fact that they're not covered in sugar like all of their competitors.
But that must mean they taste
bad. They taste like candy, but they don't have a ton of sugar. Like, it's the perfect balance for gummies, right? There are some gummies out there, I know you've experienced them, that taste like weed and they're garbage. I know there are some on the flip end that almost taste like too much like sugar. This is the perfect balance. Pure gummies and pure edibles, they have found it. Not to mention, Pure also lists the effects clearly on each tin, so you know exactly what effects you guys can expect. I know I'm a big believer in the sleep support gummies. I know you love the uplifting ones as well. Go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispensaries across Arizona.
New promo code alert for all my BBs out there. It's BBPHNX, and that BB stands for Branded Bills, because Branded Bills is the best. And how many B words can I fit into this? Beautiful Branded Bills is the best thing that you could...
Ball cap.
Best ball cap your bald head
wow.
could ever betroth itself.
Wow.
Beauty in the beholder, which you are. Okay, I don't know. But literally, Branded Bills is the best. They have gear that make you stand apart from the crowd, whether it's ASU apparel, Suns apparel, as well as they partner with the Phoenix Suns, or if you're looking to burn a hat just for fun, they have U of A hats as well. Local company, so we absolutely love to support them. Even if you tried to burn it, I don't even know if it would work because they're made out of such great material.
Yeah, that's facts.
The rubber logo is amazing. And of course, you can get 20% off your first order, including some PHNX hats at BBPHNX for 20% off your first order. Head to brandbills.com. Use code BBPHNX for 20% off your first order for all my BBs.
For all your BBs.
All my BBs. Mm. For all my BBs as well. Become a diehard of my BBs. Become a diehard today.
How do you become a diehard, Rubis?
You type gophnx.com into that thing that you call a computer or a phone.
Or a phone. And
then there's this tab, and it says diehard.
You click on
Now,
that.
in case you don't know how diehard is spelled, D-I-E-H-A-R-D. Okay? Diehard.
Nailed it.
Right. Then it's going to tell you all the things that you get, which includes, you know, like a free shirt and hat every year, access to the Die Hard Discord lounge, exclusive content, 20% off merch, 20% off events.
And people get a chat with you.
Ad-free experience. Yes, you get actually the entry access to my home. You get my address.
Huge.
You get my bank account statements. And my debt too. So yeah, it all comes with the territory of being a diehard, or you could just not opt for that part of it and just be a part of our diehard Discord. Go phnx.com. Prove your fanhood, huh? Prove it. Become a diehard today.
I love it. I love it. I'm curious to see if you love this ASU men's basketball roster in its current capacity.
Undefeated,
because you got
never lost.
Trevor Best, Jake O'Neal.
Okay.
Marcus Adams Jr. Mo Odom, JJB's favorite player. Alan Mukbeka. Bryce Ford. Adante Holloman.
Andrea Grubovich.
There you go. VJ Wallace. Santiago
Truett.
There you go. Marcus Jackson.
You got it, buddy.
Jayon Pitt and Cash Polk is what you got right now for a starting five. Before we get, or I guess for a roster, before we get into a starting five, do you feel like this is complete? Do you feel like this is
defined complete?
Done. You would turn this in and you say, okay, I'm good to go. And if not, what are we missing?
Well,
be nice.
Power 4 basketball players.
Okay.
That would be the missing piece. Like, this is a multiple section test with like multiple choice and free response, and we've just left the free response.
Do you know
we're going to try to pass with just the multiple?
I'm pretty sure there's
answers.
only one Power 4 player on this roster,
and it's Trevor Best.
It is Trevor Best.
We're so screwed.
JJB saying 2 scholarship spots open. Yeah, there is still some roster spots available. I actually had a tweet come through before the show started. Ironically enough, as it relates to ASU basketball, Tobias Bass had tweeted this out from The Athletic, saying Donovan O'Day has heard from the following schools since entering the transfer portal. Arizona State is on that list. He spent last season at Cal State Fullerton, 12.8 points, 5 boards. Not a power
right.
4 school.
Another guy who didn't play at a power 4 school who averaged somewhere in the middle teens points per game.
Can I tell you what schools he has also heard from minus Arizona State?
Sure.
Minnesota.
Okay.
UTEP.
Gotcha.
UC Santa Barbara.
Okay.
UAB.
Okay.
Florida State.
Oh, wow. There's a power 4.
Indiana.
Oh, wow.
Montana. Campbell. UTRGV.
University of Texas, Rio Grande. Oh, I think I nailed
What's
that.
the V?
Valley. Wait,
wow.
What is it again?
UTRGV. There's no way you nailed that.
The University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Come on.
And SFA.
I know ball.
You do know ball.
I know UTRGV.
I would say,
and Walla Walla University.
I would say Arizona State and Florida State and Indiana are the only 3 schools that Donovan O'Day should probably consider.
I don't know, man. UTEP's got ballers.
Yeah.
William asks, hypothetically, would you make ASU basketball take a 1-year hiatus in order to rebuild from scratch? The amount of kids that are only here for 1 year anyway, and the arena getting renovated, ...
What do you mean build from scratch?
Like literally just
but
no men's basketball this year. Bobby, bye-bye after you can get paid throughout your contract. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Bobs. Bye-bye, BB. And all these players who are here for 1 year, gone, and then you hire a new coach and you fill out a roster from scratch.
Hypothetically, isn't that what you're already probably going to get?
Yeah, but then you have to watch them play basketball this year.
Yeah,
like,
but like at least at that point, again, ASU football was picked to finish 16 of 16 last year in football.
So
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying crazier things have happened than ASU basketball being like a top 10 team in this conference.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Listen,
I'm not going to say top 10 in the country. Come on now.
I got to say, it would be 1,000 times more impressive for this team to finish in the top 4 of this conference in basketball than it would have been for ASU to beat Texas.
I didn't say top 4.
I know, but
I said top 10.
I'm saying that. Am I allowed to say things?
No, you're not allowed to say.
Sorry,
things.
this is what this does to me. I just love hoop, man.
You do love hoop,
and I want to ball with my bros. I want to see them actually.
You just want to hoop with the fellas.
I just want to see Andrea Grubovich hoop. That's all I want.
Well, you're gonna get that.
That's all I want.
You're gonna get that opportunity.
Is that too much to ask?
You're gonna get the opportunity, and you're gonna have fun.
I need to see Mo Odom to Jake O'Neal to Trevor Best.
He hammed it home. So what's your starting 5 then, Rubus?
Well, I have the same starting 5 as you.
No, you don't.
I do.
Wow, you just put an and.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna type all that out again. But so what I'll do is I'll let you say your starting 5, and then I'll get.
That's not hopium, Glenn.
And then
top 10 in the conference out of 16 teams is not like.
Woo! I mean, that might be a tournament team.
No,
that's borderline tournament team. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna give your starting 5, and then I'll give you 2 names that could be moved in and who I'd swap them in for. Even though I would agree with your 5, there are 2 names, maybe 3 that I would think. So
everybody in the chat, you can also do this. Throw in your starting 5 that you think, and we can kind of go back and forth on that. But I've got Mo Odom starting at point guard. Okay. Shout out JJB.
Modem.
Yeah. Adante Holloman at the 2.
I mean, listen, I'm a huge name guy.
And this team has good names.
Huge name guy. Adante Holloman's great.
And he's a baller. He may be the best scorer on this team.
He averaged like 16 points at like Georgia Southern.
I think he was the highest scorer at his...
Adante Holloman averaged 16.9 points per game as a junior for the Georgia Southern Eagles.
I mean, yeah, you're just ripping today, man.
Yeah.
You know ball.
I know Adante Holloman.
This is where things get weird, kind of moving to the forwards and the centers, just because there's not a traditional, like, there's not a 7-footer on this team, right? So you definitely are missing that.
I think Santiago Truett's like 6'10".
Yeah, I think 6'10 is the biggest person on this roster. I've got Marcus Adams Jr. starting at my small forward at 6'8".
16 points per game, 5 rebounds last year as a sophomore at Cal State Northridge for the Matadors. He has a great smile.
I like it. I like more of, what he does on the court than his pearly whites, but that's just, me. I know you've got your own personal preference. At power forward, I do have Alan Mukeba, excuse me. He is smaller than Marcus Adams Jr., which kind of threw me for a loop, but he is listed as a power forward center.
He can't shoot.
No, he can't shoot, which is why he
can't shoot.
So I like him at the 4, big rebounding guy. And then at the 5, I have Marcus Jackson. Again, a 6'8", I believe, freshman. So
4-star guy. So he's going to be a freshman.
He is.
So that might be tough, but him and Trevor Best are best friends. Because he went to Word of God Christian Academy.
So they're best friends?
We are Word of God Christian Academy.
You?
2. Yeah. So
2.
The thing with Alan Mukeba is I do like him as a player, but 6'6" and can't shoot with no true 7-footer out there is like, nah. I do think that there is an argument for either Santiago Truett to start next to Marcus Jackson to get some size next to him, since he's going to be 6'8", starting at the Big 12. I also think that there's an argument to go with Andrea Grubovich, who's played professional basketball, who would be a power forward, slot in there, and would be a shooter. Right, so he would give some space because there's not a ton of really great 3-point shooters in that starting lineup. And then I think there's an argument for Jake O'Neal to find his way somewhere in there.
Really?
I do think so.
Instead of Adante or instead of Marcus?
The thing with Adante is that you have to hope that at 6 foot his scoring prowess is able to translate from what conference is Georgia Southern at? I think that's Sun Belt. Yeah. For the Georgia Southern Eagles, right? I mean, they're playing against Troy. You know what I mean? So you have
better than what, Wawa University?
Walla Walla University. Don't you dare.
Sorry, man.
Disrespect Walla Walla, and it's 1,000 students like that, okay? Man, I did not know that I would be talking about Walla Walla University.
I mean, the more you know.
Anyway. JJ says, O'Neal starts in place of Holloman microwave off the bench. I think the scoring thing there and having, if you're going to have an undersized roster, which it feels like they're going to have with their tallest player being 6'10" guy that might be coming off the bench in Truett, then getting a guy who averaged almost 10 rebounds per game as a guard and is going to be a really good defender in there. It's just going to be, what does this team need more of, right? Does it need more scoring or does it need more defense? And
what if Bobby's teams needed in the last 5 years?
God.
Help. That's what they've needed. They've needed scoring.
Yeah.
They've needed points.
That's where Trevor Best comes in, baby. I think Trevor Best is a power 4 basketball player.
I think he is too, but I think this team in general, again, it's the same problem. And I guess, I don't want to take too big of a shot at him right now because we haven't seen him play. We haven't seen him hit the court, whatever. But my big problem with this squad last year, and my big problem with Hurley's approach to the portal this year, is who's the dude? Who's the guy that you can point to any given night when everybody else is playing bad and, hey, we need you to go for 25. We need you to...
If you had to guess, who would it be?
On this team?
Yeah.
I don't know if there is one.
I think if I had to guess, Marcus Adams Jr.
Yeah, probably. But how many times has there been a small forward that's led ASU in scoring?
Okay, but I mean, it's a completely different roster on team.
It is. But again, just the way Bobby's teams play.
Okay, but the way Bobby's teams play is if you're good, you get the ball. right? I think my true problem with going and again, this is all respect to Bobby Hurley. He's a dead man walking. Like, this is his last season. He's not going to get a contract extension anytime before, during, or after the season.
I hope they go undefeated and they laugh in your face.
Dude, me too. God, I want to be wrong. Do you know how many times I wish I was wrong? I wish I was wrong last season about ASU men's basketball. I wish I'm wrong about the Phoenix Suns and the crap that they're putting me through right now. And I hope I'm wrong about Bobby Hurley. But I'm not. And the thing is, if I looked at this team and I saw, oh, it's a team that can be well coached and get the most out of all of these guys, then getting players from non-Power 4 schools and putting them together and finding the best way to make them cohesive, that would work. I could buy in on that, right? Like, that is a strategy. Teams do that. I don't have faith that is what will happen.
And that's fair. I think, like, again, for most of the fan base, now it is you have to show me, right? If you want me to show up, you want me to be into these games, at this point, it's you do have to show me what this team is going to do, because I'm sorry, there are too many competitive teams at ASU on a week in, week out basis to go watch, a team that doesn't have it together right now. And I know that's going to definitely piss some people off, but think about it. When men's basketball season is going on during the week, are you going to go to a men's basketball game, or are you going to go to a hockey game? Are you going to go to a football game? Are you going to go to a women's basketball game? Like, there are so many.
You're going to go to Mill.
Yeah. There's just a lot of things. And again, I want this team and this program to be competitive. We're just at a point now where it's like, okay, we can only talk about it so much. You just have to go do it, because we hyped up this team last year, and it was wildly underwhelming.
I blame Shane.
I blame Shane too, and he can't defend himself. He's currently across the country.
I think that if he had to trade getting blamed for going on a European vacation, I think he'd be okay.
Yeah, I think it's so we can agree.
What else can we blame him
ASU
for?
men's basketball, their troubles last season.
Shane Diefenbach.
All on the Deli Man.
Yes.
Okay, then I think the Diefenbach. Yeah, I think we're good on that. I think.
Anything else that we want to blame him on? Well, he's gone.
Ayrton, do you have anything?
Nah, I'd probably walk that line pretty finely, Ayrton.
I don't know. The sun's still stuck, but that's not really
that's true.
Related.
Yeah. Oh, blame him for Brian Gregory. Okay, I like that.
He hasn't done anything though yet. He's done nothing to you yet. Just make sure you're aligned.
He did do something to me. He found me and he tried to fight me because I said mean things about his press conference.
It is what it is. Guys, tap the like button. Hit it. Flick it. Do whatever you want to do, I guess, to that like button. Make sure you are subscribed as well. Drop a 5-star review. I hear you, Will. We're done talking hoops.
Will gets very mad.
We're going to kick things over to ASU softball. But before we do that, we do have to take a quick break.
Get new flooring in your home.
Do it.
Listen, people don't think about this, but when somebody comes into your home, they look around, and then what do? They look down. And when they look down and they don't see good flooring, they're judging.
It's kind of suspect.
They're like, oh, and they got your dogs out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I take my shoes off and I feel up on the floors, man. Like, if it's not Empire Today, then, what's the point of having floors?
There's no point unless you're going to Empire Today, especially because you go to these big box stores and it's like, oh, here, you can do it all yourself. We don't really give a crap about you. And, we'll install it for you. 6 months work for you? 7, 8 months? No, not with Empire Today. You get clear, upfront, all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule installation as soon as the next day. So schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. PHNX listeners can receive a $350 off discount when using promo code PHNX. That's right, $350 off with promo code PHNX. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/PHNX for full details.
Guys, we got some big news from Sanderson Ford. Ford just announced From America for America employee pricing. So now you pay the same as the owner of Sanderson Ford on the full lineup on new Fords with no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense, and a big one here, no added markups. And on top of employee pricing, get additional Ford incentives on over 1,000 vehicles during the Sanderson Ford Platinum 70th Anniversary Sale. Man, I love the fact that their sales that they name are just awesome. Like, are you kidding me?
It's pretty easy when you've been in business for 70 years.
Platinum 70th anniversary sale makes me want to buy a car right there. Choose Sanderson Ford because they have the inventory and they're celebrating 70 years of treating you right. Now is the best time to buy a new Ford from Sanderson Ford from America for America employee pricing. And in celebration of their 70th anniversary, stop in and get a pair of tickets to an Arizona Diamondbacks game just for stopping by. No test drive even required. Now, excludes 2025 Expedition, Super Duty, Raptor family, Mustang, and Bronco specialty vehicles. One pair of tickets per household with valid driver's license to the July 6th game versus Kansas City Royals while supply of 200 tickets lasts. Appreciate you, Megan. Megan coming in here and just showering us some compliments.
I mean, saying I look delicious, which true.
Yeah, I mean, you delicious.
Yes,
yeah.
And then she likes your buzz cut.
Thing, man. I appreciate it.
Do
you like the buzz cut?
No, it sucks.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I do like the buzz cut.
I just, I've gotten mixed reviews on it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think buzz cut mustache would be a good combo.
I had that combo for a while, but,
Who's being mean to you? Who's telling you they don't like the buzz cut?
Just people.
Who do I need to fight?
Don't worry about it. It's okay. I don't really care what people think too much. That's why I host
this
a
is
podcast.
clearly bothering you.
Yeah, it's not. It's okay. I'm okay. But the more we talk about it, it's going to make
Is it the Shedeur Sanders supporters?
It's just Shedeur. Shedeur has actually called me personally.
Were you the prank caller?
No, I was not. I am not related to the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons. So if I was, I can promise
then
you one thing.
Why are we even talking right now?
Yeah.
I thought you were.
You want to talk softball now?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. ASU softball, big win in the quarterfinals of the Big 12 tournament against Oklahoma State. 2-1 dub for the Sun Devils. Go ahead, get to By the Numbers presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes. Of course, the only number that matters is that final score, 2-1 in favor of the Devils in terms of hits. 4-3 again in favor of ASU in terms of strikeouts. The ASU pitcher was dealing today. 13 Ks to just 4 for the Cowboys. In terms of walks, now ASU's pitcher did walk 5 Cowboys in, I guess vice versa here. Just 2 on the Oklahoma State side. And then in terms of errors, 2 for Oklahoma State, 1 for ASU. I'm not even going to ask you what number stands out because I know exactly where you're going with this.
Kenzie Brown, who was the pitcher today,
dealing,
absolutely dealing, like ridiculous levels of dealing. Even just like watching too, there was so much heat when she was throwing. I mean, she threw all 7 innings pitched.
She threw 132 pitches.
Yeah, she threw all 7 innings. She only allowed 4 hits. Sorry, that's Rylan or Malin, Ruby Malin. I was looking at the wrong one. She still threw all 7 innings, only allowed 3 hits, 1 run, 1 of those earned, of course, 5 walks, but 13 Ks. 13 Ks.
She was on a tear, man.
Including striking out Oklahoma State with the bases loaded with a 1-run lead.
Yeah, so bottom of the 5th inning, I believe it was, ASU was up, and then at a certain point, Oklahoma State, it was a weird single that was hit that ended up bringing in a run. 1 out, bases loaded. That was a turning point in the game, or at least it could have been for Oklahoma State. At that point in the game, it was knotted up, I believe, 1-1. And Kenzie Brown, with just 1 out, bases loaded, back-to-back strikeouts, was able to get out of that.
Nailed. You know, like the mental fortitude it takes to do that?
I mean,
to
that's a
step
lot of
up
pressure.
in that moment.
Your season's on the line. Right there.
Yeah, I mean, also like possibly an NCAA tournament berth.
Yeah.
As well, where you are now going to be facing off against the winner of Texas Tech. Let's see who they're playing.
Texas Tech or Baylor is
Texas
who
Tech,
ASU
and
will end up playing.
That game just started.
Yeah, that game is going on.
That
I
game
believe,
just
right now.
started, and I mean, Texas Tech is the #1 seed. Texas Tech is the best team in the conference. Surefire tournament team. They're 42-12, 20-4 going into today's matchup against Baylor, who's not that great. 27-26, 11-13
but
overall.
They're here.
I mean, they're there. They had to win. Baylor had to win to get there. So the thing is, with beating this team in the way that you did and shutting them down, and Oklahoma State a higher seed, the 4-5 matchup, going in and beating Texas Tech would be
huge.
That's a tall task though. I think they still have enough to be in the tournament and to make some noise there as well. And honestly, all things start with dominant pitching for me, because there was just enough offense to get there. And of course, Swan being a really big part of that, scoring both runs on 2 hits, a double and a home run. But you don't get anywhere unless you limit Oklahoma State to just 1 run, especially in high leverage situations. And I'm a sucker for pitching.
Yeah.
And so
she's an all conference pitcher.
Yeah. I mean, she's one of the best that Arizona State's ever seen.
Yeah.
And so you can ride that wave as far as you can this season and see how much that you can play her. I mean, she's 19-6 overall in the season, and putting up 2 runs on Ruby Malin, not only a good name, Ruby,
she's also a dog pitcher.
21-8.
Yeah.
Right. And Oklahoma State was making some pretty good defensive plays as well. One hell of a catch. I don't know who made it, but like halfway leaning out of bounds grab.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State's a good team.
They are. They had beaten ASU the one time that they actually saw them this year, besides this game. So
yeah, Glenn says Texas Tech's a problem.
They are a problem,
but that's why he thought that Kenzie needed to pitch against Tech. Should have went with another pitcher today. You got to kind of play that game that's in front of you, though.
Yeah, I feel
you can't be planning for Tech unless you get to Tech. But I get what you're saying now that they won, but they wouldn't have won this game if she didn't pitch, right? So that's the catch-22.
I mean, you never know. But
with the way that Oklahoma State was hitting, and the bases loaded situations and the amount of strikeouts,
I'm taking Kenzie Brown. I'm taking Kenzie Brown. We're getting ice on that shoulder and that arm, and we're seeing if she wants to play.
Jacob says out of bounds. LOL. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm in basketball, but when I said that, it felt wrong.
ASU did, ironically enough, before the Big 12 tournament, they played Texas Tech. Was the last regular season conference series that they had. ASU went 1-2 in that stretch. They got run ruled, I believe, in that first game. The second game they lost 3-0, and then the third game they ended up winning 7-3. To my knowledge, that third game is the only game that Kenzie Brown actually pitched. She pitched 4 innings in that game. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 run allowed, 1 hit in 4 innings. So I imagine if they do opt to throw Kenzie Brown back out there, it'd probably be a similar situation. I don't see her pitching back-to-back full games. But if Megan Bartlett does call on her,
I don't know. You got to protect the player at that point. I don't think you can do that.
And it is
130, man. Like,
she threw a lot of pitches.
And then to pitch like the next day. By the way, Texas Tech. Oh, that game started a lot earlier than I thought. I thought it started at 1:30. Probably 1:30 a different time.
There you go.
Texas Tech is up 4-0, but Baylor's up to bat, top of the 7th. Baylor, I believe, has bases loaded with 1 out.
That's huge.
So Baylor has a chance. Yeah, so this game is almost over.
Wow. Can you imagine if it, I mean, they've got a chance. Yeah. They absolutely have a chance to get there. Yeah, Sharon brings it up. Bases loaded in the 7th. Mm-hmm. Baylor has a little rally going right now, though. That would be huge, I think, for Arizona State if they could get Baylor after a Texas Tech meltdown here at the end of the game.
This is what dreams are made of.
That game will be played tomorrow. But I mean, in terms of this game, I know we've spent a lot of time talking about Kenzie Brown, but unfortunately for you and for her, she's not getting bottle service.
I disagree with this decision.
Samantha Swan is getting bottle service. She went 2 of 3 at bat today. She had a double, a home run, and an RBI. She was all over the place offensively when ASU was kind of shut down. And I know you disagree. First off, shout out Samantha Swan for one hell of a game.
Absolutely. She did great.
You need points.
She's the offensive player of the game.
She is. But we don't do offensive and defensive.
No, but what I'm saying is she was the offensive player of the game.
Should we change things up next year and just like
bottle service? I mean, more than one people get bottle service.
Yeah.
Offense, OBS and DBS.
We maybe should just change it to something else.
I don't know. Bottle service is kind of iconic, though.
I mean, we've been doing it a while.
Yeah.
You know?
Got to change the graphic, though. Put my new head on it.
Your new cartoon head on it.
Williams says softball pitchers have been known to throw 200 pitches in a weekend in the
Women's College World Series. So it's definitely not possible. I'm saying if she does pitch tomorrow, which if she's a competitor, which I meant she is,
I'm sure she wants
to play. But I don't think she'd pitch the entire game. I think that again, because if they play tomorrow, let's say they win tomorrow, then they're playing in the Big 12 championship game. Are they realistically going to throw her out there for the Big 12 championship? Probably not, right?
Right. But again, you got to play who's in front of you. But anyway, back to Swan. I mean, a great game, right? If you had to pick two players, it would be either Kenzie or Swan. So going with Swan, and you don't win this game unless you score 2 runs, right? The pitching doesn't matter if the offense doesn't show up. And that's why it's called team sports, Anthony Totri.
Thank you.
Shout out to the Arizona Diamondbacks who can never figure out both sides of the damn ball.
ASU softball did, though, today.
Yes,
kind of.
I mean, they did.
Not a great offensive performance.
They stepped up when they needed to. Not the best offensive performance, but you do just enough to get it done. You play the game that's in front of you, which I know that sounds really stupid, but you didn't have a ton of hits. Swan had 2.
Kelsey Hall had
Kelsey
one.
Hall, friend of the program, had 1. And Ronald Acuna Jr. had
no
one
relation,
as well.
By the way.
No relation. Baylor down to their final out, by the way.
Base is still juiced?
It's over.
Wow.
Yeah, it's over.
GG's.
It's over.
ASU,
do they still play bottom of 7?
No, they won't play bottom of 7.
Yeah, that's game over.
So sounds like ASU will play Texas Tech.
Not surprising.
And honestly, I'm a little bit torn because I don't know if ASU softball needs this win. I don't think they need this win to get into the NCAA tournament. I think this is already a team in ASU softball that is probably going to get into the NCAA tournament as is. They're 35-18, 14-10 in conference. They have been really solid at home, 23-12. I think this is probably an NCAA tournament team, which what I really want to get into is how big of a win this is and how big the rest of the season realistically is for Megan Bartlett, right? Because going into this season, I know there were other individuals that were saying, hey, this has got to be the year. If Megan Bartlett can't get it together with this team right now, then maybe changes have to be made. Shout out to her for taking that criticism and realistically turning the season into a really, really good one. Right now, is this a Women's College World Series team? That's yet to be determined. But just getting to this point in the season, not getting bounced in the first round, being able to be a top 5 seed in this conference tournament, making an NCAA tournament, doing these little things, I think are so big for a program that has so much history and is trying to turn it back around, right? Maybe even the way that women's basketball is going to try and do with Molly Miller at the helm now that Adair is gone. So I think it's nice that they've been able to accomplish this, knowing the women on that team and Bartlett, they're not satisfied with just this, right? A Big 12 championship is what they're after at this point in the season. Yeah,
let's win another Big 12 chip, huh?
I'm here for it, man.
Well, do we have another break? I forget.
No.
Okay, I can't remember if we did 2 breaks or not. Anyway, continuing then. So here's the interesting thing with Tech. Kennedy, who was their pitcher today, also struck out 13. Only pitched 98 times, though. 98 total pitches.
Wow. And she pitched the whole game?
And she pitched 6.2 innings, so they took her out at the end when the bases were loaded, but only allowed 1 hit, so she must have walked. So, yeah, she had no walks.
Hit by pitch, maybe?
No. How did they get bases loaded?
No, they put her in. She gave up a hit.
She gave up a hit. They took her out, and then she gave up 2 hits and a walk. Okay. Gotcha.
You silly dog.
Anyway.
That was her first hit, by the way, all game. Was in that at the end there.
Yeah. And so
scary.
13 Ks in under 100 pitches. So if they do decide to put her out there again, shout out to Nigere Kennedy. She will be about 30 pitches fresher than Kenzie if Kenzie's put out there as well.
So how do you feel?
I mean, I feel like you're the underdog in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's obvious.
You got to go play spoiler, but the team is hot. You're going to need the bats to wake up. I mean, again, Baylor not only struck out 13 times, they didn't strike out anybody. Lily Walker pitched all 6 innings. She didn't strike out anybody. 76 total pitches, though. So lots of contact, but nothing whiffing wise. You're going to play, I think, a relatively fresh Texas Tech team as well. So you got to go in ready to be nails, especially if you are the second rotation pitcher and you're not Kenzie Brown who's playing, which I don't know, maybe you start with somebody else first and see how they do and then bring Kenzie in so she can finish the game rather than start it, but then you got to worry about warm-ups and mental reps and everything like that as well. But this is going to come down to limiting Texas Tech's offense and scoring runs. Wow, what analysis from Erik. Well,
you got to play better. Right. Yeah. Sharon in chat saying it feels like ASU athletics is at the beginning of a renaissance right now. In parentheses, not you, men's basketball. I feel like that's valid. Like, think about it, sport by sport right here.
Okay, let's do it.
Starting with softball.
All right.
Headed to the Big 12 tournament semifinals against the number 1 seed Texas Tech.
We'll play in the tournament.
Off a big win, an NCAA tournament team off a down year, right? Last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ASU football. Reigning Big 12 champions, heading into this season, the favorite to be Big 12 champions again. Sam Levitt, Kenny Dillingham, Jordan Tyson, Xavier Alford. Like, you have maybe the most likable football team the last 20 years, like minus the team from last year, right? With Scat.
Don't sleep on Milkins.
Stop it. Then you have ASU women's basketball, right? Out with the old, in with the new. You got Molly Miller, maybe the hottest name in women's college basketball at the end of last season. You bring her in to rebuild your program.
Right.
I think there are a lot of people really excited. I know we're excited. We had her in here just last week, and it was just awesome stuff from start to finish. So ASU women's basketball. You have ASU volleyball. JJ Van Neal, you brought him in a couple years ago. That program has been red hot since he got to town. ASU men's and women's golf is always doing fantastic things. Hockey had a phenomenal year last year. I know just short of where they wanted to be, but overall a really solid year and what's considered the best hockey conference in college sports. What else am I missing? ASU baseball is trending in the right direction.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they have a little bit more time before their season gets to the point that ASU softball is in. But I think Willie's done a good job this year. They got really hot there
for a
while now, and then I think they can be a tournament team too. Like it, a good spot, mostly.
Will says 4 Big 12 champs, 3 runners up already.
Come on, Bob.
Do we own the Big 12? That's going to piss people off. It's going to piss Big 12 fans off. That we're here and, we're just doing what we do. Swimming's dominant. Hockey's booming. Olympic sports are good. Volleyball, only sport that disappointed was basketball.
But if we shut down our basketball program, then we have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's
Dude,
just
you
can't have it all.
We would get ripped to shreds by Big 12 media if we shut down our basketball program for a year. Why not?
Because nobody
has it all.
Name a program that has it all. We're pretty close to as good as it gets.
Tech?
Where's Texas Tech baseball? They don't even have a hockey team, do they? I love it. Just pure silence for the keys here. Texas Tech baseball. Watch them be the best team in the conference.
They're probably pretty damn good. Oh, no, they're actually not good at all.
17 and 28.
Oh, yikes. Hey, 1-game win streak, though.
Against?
New Mexico State.
Congratulations. See, they don't have it all.
How do you think West Virginia's baseball team
I think Texas Tech is probably, in chat, I'd love to hear from you on this. Outside of Arizona State, in terms of like program or universities in the Big 12 that are like trending in the right direction with, quote, having it all, is there anybody as close to ASU other than Texas Tech?
Well, I wouldn't even say Tech is there. Holy crap. I didn't realize
West Virginia is a baseball program, 39-8.
Well, West Virginia has a decent basketball program. Football program is a great baseball program. We got to do the tiers again. And we did the tiers
programs,
and then everybody got really mad at us.
Everybody did get really mad
because we were like, Colorado doesn't have a baseball team, so I dropped them down. Everybody's like,
and then they lost the bowl game.
Yeah. No, they lost. Correction. The real Big 12 championship.
To quote Colorado fans there.
Yeah, that they went on to lose.
Just absolutely
BYU.
Ridiculous. BYU is solid.
Yeah, BYU, good football team, great basketball team. How's BYU?
Glenn says outside of the Big 12, Texas is in that conversation.
Yeah.
Texas, I think Oregon is in that conversation as well yearly.
I don't think BYU baseball is good.
Really? I feel like BYU baseball might be good.
No,
they're average.
They're 500.
Literally his average is
7 and 17 in conference.
Not good.
Yeah.
You know, that sounds eerily familiar to a basketball program that we recently discussed.
500 in conference? Yeah, I don't.
They weren't 500
so.
in conference.
No, I'm
500 on the
ASU
year.
basketball.
Yeah,
ASU basketball was not 500 in conference.
Neither was BYU. BYU's 23 and 23, 7 and 17 in conference, buddy.
For baseball.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you talking about?
Do you understand what he's
saying?
Dude,
what are you talking about?
What's so hard for you to understand?
Ayrton, what do you know about Manny Wilkins?
Stop it. Stop it.
Are you familiar with Milkins' game?
I'm not.
Wow.
He's just a pup.
What about premier rapper M5?
I am also not.
They're the same guy.
Yeah, I'm not either.
The same guy.
He's just a pup. Okay, leave him alone.
Look up Manny Wilkins hurdle.
With audio down.
Yeah, audio down. let me put you on some game of ASU legend Milkins.
Goodness. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Rubus, what else do we got today? Anything fun?
Got Manny Wilkins talk for you.
I mean, we could talk Manny Wilkins for a little bit, but I really don't want to talk about Manny Wilkins right now. Wow, Ayrton's really looking up Manny Wilkins hurdle right now.
I mean, listen, if that's not what you need in your life right now, like it is truly incredible. I would turn the sound down on that. We are going to get
down.
Dinged. Yeah, it's good. I mean, everybody. Yes, Ayrton is a Sun Devil, but he's a newer Sun Devil.
He's a baby.
This guy.
This was against NAU too.
This guy right here.
I wish we could show you.
Pretty
chat.
sure
we can't.
I'm pretty sure I was. No, don't screen share. No, don't screen share. Don't screen share. We're not screen sharing that. We will get dinged for that. This is just for us.
Yeah, this is just for us to watch.
I like where your head was at. Ayrton. You had that set up real nicely. But this is just for us. I mean, I'm pretty sure I was
definitely at this game.
Yoink! Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, Saquon Barkley, who?
Stop it.
Okay. What do we want to talk about?
He had his moment. Manny Wilkins had his moment.
Manny Wilkins was okay. I know that, like, I understand that it's like a joke, the whole like Milkins thing. Manny Wilkins was a good quarterback. Was he not? Manny Wilkins was a good quarterback.
It depends how you define the word
Wilkins
good.
Manny Wilkins was a good quarterback.
What's the definition for good?
He's not a great quarterback.
What's the definition of good? That's what I want to know. Definition of good.
I'm going to pull up his stats for ASU. Okay?
To be desired or approved of.
Okay.
I guess you approved of him.
These are his stats. Ayrton, you tell me if this guy is a good quarterback. Not a great quarterback, a good quarterback.
Box score chasing, by the way.
Okay, first of all, we just saw the hurdle with our own eyes.
Against who?
Okay. His best season was 2017. 260 completions, 410 attempts. That's a 63.4 completion percentage. Threw for 3,270 yards, an average of 8 yards per pass, 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, a long of 70. 142.6 quarterback ranking. That same year in 2017, rushed for 282 yards and 7 touchdowns as well. Tell me, is that a good quarterback?
Wait. Before you answer, what was the record of that team?
2017? I don't know, bro.
It's a team sport, remember?
2017 ASU football. They were 7-6. Mm-hmm. 6-3 in Pac-12 play.
Yeah.
7-6.
7-6.
Okay. I didn't say he was freaking God.
No, you just said good.
I didn't
say
he was
The definition of good, by the way, is to be desired or approved of. So, you approve him. I don't desire Manny Wilkins quarterback
Napier,
play.
Offensive coordinator.
I don't desire Manny Wilkins quarterback play.
They played in the Sun Bowl that year.
Yeah, they did.
That was the year.
I was at the Sun Bowl that year.
Yeah. Eno was on that team.
Yep.
Yeah. Brandon Ruiz was on that team.
Reese.
Sorry, that's right. Reese.
That whole dilemma.
Yeah. They beat Arizona that year.
Sharon gets it. Not great, Bob.
He's fine. He was a good quarterback.
He was fine.
He was a good quarterback.
He wasn't good.
He was good.
No, he wasn't good.
He was good.
So what do you call Sam Levitt?
Great.
Godly?
Yes.
Okay. So you've got Sam.
Yeah.
Where's Jaden Daniels? Because he was better than Manny.
Jaden Daniels was really good at ASU, but he wasn't great until he got to LSU. He was really good at ASU.
So you've got godly Sam Levitt, really good Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
And good
Manny Wilkins. Bad.
Can we trade the word good
Jay
for
Rashado.
average?
He was a slightly above average quarterback. He was slightly above average. I'll stand on this. I will stand on business.
That he was slightly above average.
He was an above average quarterback for this team. He was an above average quarterback for this team. He was a good, not great, above average quarterback for the Sun Devils, and I will stand on that.
Okay, well, now that he's slamming tables about Manny Wilkins, I think it's time to get out of here. Guys, if you enjoyed today's content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow this guy right here. That is, of course, the Manny Wilkins lover. 123 on social.
Okay.
No, you can follow him at Erik
Defending
Ruby.
Milkins as always.
And you could follow Ayrton behind the Mac at the Freckled Mamba, right? Love it. Guys, we will see you on Friday for a Friday Fun Day. But in the meantime, go Devils and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.